Same thing can be said, you know, we got solar. Yeah, that's awesome. You know, what about all the trash we produce? You know, what about, like, the first thing we noticed when we moved on a boat was how much trash we produce, how much plastic we're throwing away. Like what is that? I look at my children and I say, well, I think to myself, what's it going to be like in 50 years? You know, what in reality is the earth going to be like in 50 years? You know, we just can't sustain the rate of power consumption, you know, and keep it clean, you know, if we're relying on power plants. I think it's cool. Abby, he's got like this virtual reality headset. Yeah. That's cool. That is cool. I tell you what, these guys work hard too. You know, those panels are they're not late. You know, they've been at it since like 7:30 this morning.
They make it look easy.
This is like your typical 3-bedroom home. This is the equivalent of planting 2,900 trees or not burning 126,000 pounds of coal.
Just this one house?
This one house. You know, the first year was learning. You know, we were learning how to be on a boat, live on a boat, sail a boat. Year 2 was more geared towards, hey, let's have a good time on the boat. And every year we're getting like better and better at, you know, being sailors.
I love this thing,
and having a good time and understanding like this is our time on the earth. Let's spend it wisely. Let's have a good time. I always said to myself, I'm going to buy the biggest sailboat I possibly can afford, and I'm going to go around the world as soon as I can. What I always tell my children is, you know, hey Dad, I want this, I want that, right? A want is a want, you know, and I always tell them, if you work hard enough, you can have anything you want. I think that's a thing that a lot of people don't do. You know, they have the dream and never take that step towards the dream, and then the dream just stays a dream. Okay, 12 years. So I did 2 tours in Afghanistan. Now, there was a point in my life that I hit where I realized you have one life. You have one life. You know, and if you're not living that life, every second of it, to the fullest, then you're wasting it. We're here. Your dream's over here. Okay? The only way you're gonna get to that dream is action. Baby steps. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I joined the Army right after high school. You know, I was airborne infantry. Broke my back a couple of years later, you know, on a airborne jump. Joined back up in 2008. I was with the 10th Mountain Division. I had 2 tours in Afghanistan with them. I will say both deployments were equally grueling. We'd go on 2-hour missions that lasted 3 days. You know, we had no water. You know, I think my first deployment, the longest time I went without a shower was 57 days. You know, so it was like that. You know, it was like, and I think that's why I prefer this boat life. You know, because really similar to you just taking care of yourself. You don't have all the amenities. It's like you and nature. You know, so it was like, I would say both of them were equally as grueling, just in different ways. And both were, you know, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. You know, and I think y'all know what that means. I'm an Army guy. I love it. You know, I love the camaraderie. I love everything about it. So I decided to become a drill sergeant, training soldiers, you know, making sure that they were going to be okay in the same situations I was in. Because each soldier is, they're all individuals. I was there, you know, as an individual, as part of a group, and we were trying to do a good thing, trying to help people that were oppressed. You know, these people were oppressed, and we were there. We're building schools, shaking people's hands. You know, we're having meetings with people. You know, we're like trying to help them grow. You know, they were oppressed by a regime that used drugs to get their foothold. You know, so these people are in a tough spot. You know, so if you want to ask me like why it lasted so long, I don't know. You know, I have no idea. You know, one thing I will say is I don't want to think that my sacrifice, you know, my fellow soldiers' sacrifice, I don't want to think it was in vain. You know, I think we made a big impact on those people. I think the culture's different. You know, I think the culture's definitely different. You know, so, Army time. And I think that's why my dream is to literally just sail away and go off into the sunset and be on my own terms. Now, you know what? I want to live. I want to enjoy myself. I think I've earned it. You know, and that's what it's all about. You know, it doesn't matter what boat I'm on. Guess what? We're going. You know, that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter how much money I have. You know, I'm going. You know, if I gotta scrap my way across the Pacific Ocean, that's what's gonna happen. You know, if I'm scraping barnacles off somebody's boat just so I can experience what, you know, I've dreamt of that whole time that I was working 18 hours a day. And, you know, like, you know, that's why I'm doing this. When you ain't got war, ain't that a beautiful day? When you ain't got war, ain't it a beautiful day? When you ain't got war, ain't that a beautiful day? When you ain't got war. Apart from traffic noise, footfall's my only thing on my way to work. There I go somehow, betrayed, never shaken. Drifting like carbon fumes and illuminating negos, so that I'm focused on the pain. Ain't that a beautiful day? When you ain't got war, ain't that a beautiful day? When you ain't got war, ain't it a beautiful day? When you ain't got war, ain't that a beautiful day? When you ain't got war. In my heart I can
ain't got war. Ain't that a beautiful day? When you ain't got war. Ain't it a beautiful day? When you ain't got war. Ain't that a beautiful day? When you ain't got.
Let's do this. You ready, babe?
No.
You ready? Come on. We're gonna dance.
I don't know how to dance to this one.
What's up? It's how we live in a boat, dude. You want to know how we live in a boat? It's like this. Guess what? We do what we want.